Did you get logged in?
Reset the password.
That's like a daily occurrence nowadays with something somewhere. It's like,
We've changed our password protocol. Please enter blah, 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 blah. Come on.
dude, I was signing up for like just to be able to view my water bills online. I've never switched over to online for them. I've always just done it through the mail. And it's like, please enter your account number. And I enter my account number right off the bill. And it says, account numbers are only 10 digits long. And I'm like, mine's 11. Like, it just is. Like, I'm using your freaking account number.
Yeah.
And it's putting this so weird. Oh, man. It's like, what system are you using? The one that you set up? Or, gosh. It wasn't even my password. Anyway.
So I type in the password because I had typed in a password. They were like, password not accepted. And so I'm like, okay, fine. What password? So, okay, clearly I forgot the password. So, and then when I go in there, they're like, you're attempting to reset your password with your old password. If I'm attempting to reuse my old password, well, then why didn't you let me log in with it?
It's their obfuscated way of saying you need a new password. Instead, they're like, we're just not going to let them in. We're going to make them reset it.
I mean, it met all of their criteria. It had special characters. It had numbers. It was X amount of characters long. It had capital letters. It had their mom's name and address.
Oh, man. What's the first concert you attended? What's your favorite ice cream? Oh, the 3 security questions, man. I hate
So
those.
what is the first concert that you ever attended?
Beastie Boys. Oh, no, now I've given away my security question answer.
Crap. Wait, hold on. And sorry, what was it? Your last 4 again?
Yeah.
Wow.
What was your mother's
I
maiden
can get
name?
a really nice American Express card.
I'm
with
just
this.
looking to find out more about your origin,
Yeah.
man. That's all.
Yeah. Was Beastie Boys really your first one?
The first one that I paid for to go to myself. Yeah.
Oh, see, that's different.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly can't remember specifically like a concert that was like a headlining kind of a band before that. So that's the farthest back I can go. I'm sure that my parents took me to like musical performances and stuff. I remember like sitting on a lawn in Truckee listening to bands play, but I couldn't tell you who they were or anything like that. So I go with Beastie Boys.
So the first one that kind of meets the criteria of being out on my own and all this other stuff was me being dragged to a concert at Lowry Park Zoo in Tampa by a bunch of my friends. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure I want to admit to who it was.
You see Debbie Gibson or Tiffany?
Debbie Gibson. Yeah, it really was Debbie Gibson.
As soon as you said zoo, I was like, it has to be some
No,
like teeny
if
bopper
I would have
kind
said,
of. If you would have
if I
said
would've
like
said
mall,
it was
you know,
but
yes, because that was the video, I believe.
it was still a free concert, but it was at the zoo, and it was a
Dude,
much.
I have an amazing power of deduction here. That was awesome.
That was actually
so proud of
pretty damn
myself right
good.
now.
Yeah, I like that. That was really damn good. Also,
That was like a pop culture poll, actually, because it was just like, because it wasn't going to be the Eagles, you know, it wasn't going to.
first one that I ever paid for myself was U2 Joshua Tree.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, see, I was going to ask you, like, what was the first one you wanted to go to?
U2 Joshua Tree.
That's awesome. Oh, man. I've been to a lot of U2
So have I.
concerts, but I'm not that old school. I mean, just like that would have been.
It was fantastic, and I have been to. I would say that the band that I have seen the most live is U2.
Yeah, me
and
too.
the Zoo TV tour. Did you see that one?
Nope.
So that one I saw in Birmingham, Alabama, and NWA opened for them.
Yes,
It was
that's such a U2
and
thing
it was
to do.
amazing. And out of the rafters, and remember now, this is Birmingham, Alabama. Out of the rafters comes a figure Klansman on a noose. Out of the rafters, it was
Wow.
I mean, I was like amazed and just like, and then it was such a weird mixed reaction from the crowd because
Yeah,
so,
I bet. Oh
you
my
know,
gosh, what a situation to be in all of a sudden. Like
yeah,
you didn't know that was
no,
coming, and I bet it made a lot of people really
uh,
uncomfortable. But that
yeah,
was the whole
exactly,
point,
exactly.
right?
And like,
Yeah.
it was incredible.
That's one thing I always enjoyed about U2 shows was it wasn't just a musical performance. It was like social commentary, political
Hmm.
commentary. It felt like going to church and it felt like going to a rock concert all in the same
And
at the same
especially
time.
since like even even all the way back to the Joshua Tree concert, which I really am struggling to remember who their opening act was, but all the subsequent ones were had some form of like social commentary for all of the opening
Yeah,
acts as
yeah.
well, and it was pretty amazing actually.
You could probably go on their website and find out. I bet you all that stuff is
Oh, I'm sure.
archived by date and location and album and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, man, that's cool. I'm trying to think of who. I don't think that any of their opening acts that I've seen were that cool. I mean, I have seen, I think No Doubt open for them once down
Oh, wow.
here, which was pretty cool. And then they had the Black Eyed Peas at the Rose Bowl
Hmm.
here, but with special guest
Oh,
Slash.
wow.
And Fergie and the band Black Eyed Peas with Slash did Sweet Child of Mine. And she did the full on Axl Rose dance and everything. And it was really
That
good.
actually sounds pretty damn cool.
It was really cool.
Probably one of the worst opening acts was Lenny Kravitz concert, and they had Smash Mouth. And let me just
Ooh.
tell you, if Smash Mouth sounds bad on the radio, they sound worse live. It was, it was horrifying. My wife
I bet.
and I were just like, we just, MST 3King it throughout their whole concert.
Yeah,
It's like
I bet.
mocking the crap out of them.
I went to a punk rock show with friend of the show, Brett Levitt, and
Ready?
the opening act was Bad Religion.
That was
Who
the
was
opening act?
decades older, yes, than the than the headliner, and that was really great. And another epic opening act was I went to see the Police play at Dodger Stadium, and the opening act was the Foo Fighters.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, that was a great one.
Which
That was
is
like
which
basically
is fun.
turned into a
Which
doubleheader.
to be quite honest with you, it's funny because now I mean, the Police. Sorry, I don't have any love for them. So, would be like the janky opening act for the Foo Fighters. Like,
Well, no, I mean this wasn't that long ago. This was probably 12 years ago, maybe. So it was like a reunion show for the Police, and but just to have the Foo Fighters there was epic. So good. I've seen several Foo Fighter shows as well, and always an amazing show. There was one where Dave Grohl had broken his leg,
oh yeah.
and he kind of frontlined from a throne of sorts.
I saw
You've
videos
never
of that.
seen anyone rock so hard sitting down.
I saw the videos of that, and it was amazing. I mean, you got to hand it to the dude. I mean, he puts his all in.
Totally. Yep, sitting down or standing up.
Exactly.
It's amazing. Yeah, he still showed up, man, like big time. Yeah,
Actually,
so good.
I'll tell you what was the concert that was one of the most recent concerts. I saw a smaller concert, which I can't remember. It was there was this one where it was like punk rock with banjos, and it was
Okay.
It was actually amazing. I was actually floored.
It's like bluegrass punk rock.
Kinda, yeah. But I mean, it was even, but it wasn't quite bluegrassy. It was definitely punk.
That's awesome.
But like the summer before was the Never Ending Summer Tour with Offspring and 311, and surprisingly enough, them old codges can still rock pretty damn well.
I mean, it's in the DNA, man. It's not an age thing, that's for sure.
No. I mean, hell, I've seen like the Dead Kennedys.
That's what us old people want to think, at least.
No, the Dead Kennedys was, they were still pretty damn amazing, and they're in their mid. When I saw them a few years back, they were in their mid-50s at the time, and they're still rocking.
Yeah,
Probably the one
awesome.
that hurt me the most, just kind of like seeing, because back in like, I don't know, 88 or 9, I saw the Pogues in Germany. And then I saw them a few years ago. And their lead singer, which, why am I blanking on his name? Anyway, he barely could get through like 2 to 3 songs before he would have to like leave the stage, probably get, shot up with some kind of adrenaline or something, or a drink or whatever. He had a drink in his hand, a cigarette in his other hand, and it looked like he was just barely hanging on.
Life has been hard. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't know if you've ever seen him before. He's got like
well, it's like Keith Richards, right? It's like, how are you still alive, even? Right?
Oh my God, yeah. Shane MacGowan. But Shane MacGowan, he's like, I don't know if you know anything about him, but when he kind of like left the band, was fired from the band because of his excessive drug use. He's got no teeth left because they've completely rotted out of his face. And
nice.
Yeah, it's not good, but
it's funny how band members get kicked out because of that at one point, but then it's like, we'll look the other way now that we need money later. Let's get the band back together.
Hilarious that one of the web searches or one of the Google searches for Shane MacGowan is what happened to Shane MacGowan's teeth.
Oh man. That's not the search that I ever want to see for myself.
No.
Take care of your teeth, kids.
Exactly. Did go to the dentist today.
Did you?
Yeah. Speaking of
changing the subject here.
Yeah. Got reasonable thumbs up.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good bit of news.
No Shane MacGowan here.
That's good. Not the role model you want to follow.
No.
Oh man. It makes me think of like what makes acts or concerts or things that you go to do memorable, and definitely some concerts that stand out more than others. And I doubt that it's ever really the space that you're in, architecturally speaking.
Well,
it's more of the connection that you have with the band. The space lends itself. I mean, that's one of the things I love about going to a U2 show, right?
Yeah.
Is that they make use of
it's a spectacle,
the space, and it becomes a theater of sorts, in the round, and they put the stage in a place that's unexpected, and they perform to a 360-degree audience instead of being on one edge of a room. And there's things like that about performance art and space that do work together for sure. I'm just trying to think, like, I feel like it's, when it's a U2 show and The Streets Have No Name comes up, and there's these giant video screens of names of people who were lost during 9/11 scrolling down the screen and endlessly, right? And it's just this, it hits you so hard that you won't forget that, I think that, we've talked about stuff like that with buildings that sit you down and make you say, whoa, what turns people like us into architects,
Right. Well, I mean, they definitely are placemaking when they put on a concert.
But then it travels, right? It goes to all of the arenas. It's so interesting. It's such an interesting thing to think of, because even today I was listening in on a clubhouse call. I don't know what you call them, a clubhouse. It's just a clubhouse. And it was about, first floor kind of retail space and how it is transforming and needs to transform via zoning and all of the constraints that are placed upon kind of the new needs of people and community spaces and things like that. And there was a kind of this plea from a developer type at the end, and it was just like, this is a great conversations to have. We really need to create spaces that lots of different typologies can just plug into, and plug out of, right? I don't know, unplug from, I should say. And so it's like flexibility, right? And that's I mean, this theme keeps coming up in so many space types that we talk about, like schools and healthcare, and the need of these giant waves of change that come. And it's interesting to me to think about, and then now there's concerts, right, where it's like it's this big piece of infrastructure that you do whatever you want within. Like usually what we're talking about here is like a sports venue, right? That gets turned into a concert hall of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
And acoustically, is it right? No. Can they make it right? They can do a pretty good job, right? Lighting, graphics, displays, video, engaging things, and it kind of comes back to just having a completely flexible space type
Yeah.
that can be used for so many different things. That's really interesting because I think when we go to architecture school, everything is so specific and so tailored to the use of the program that it was designed for from the beginning. Whereas what we're talking about is something that can accommodate anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And in some cases, it's there. If you look at, in most people cringe when they hear like new urbanist developments and things like that. But
They've already cringed because of our taste in music, so it's
probably
keeping it going.
But I mean, when I was working in some of the new urbanist developments in North Florida, around Seaside, Rosemary Beach, Alice Beach, and all those other ones, I mean, they really stressed the use of the building type, the live work building type, and where it was it could either be owned, like the whole building could be owned by one person and they could lease it out to somebody who wants to use it, or it could be like their own business or whatever. But I mean, it was to watch them evolve as these little towns evolved from just the little touristy traps to actually having people who actually live there year round and stuff. It was interesting to kind of like watch the way that they that they use these spaces, and that a lot of times there would be a space that at one point in time was like this corner Starbucks that then turned into a community space. And it was kind of interesting because they started to see the needs of the community change when there actually was a community there versus, I mean, if you're, most of these were originally designed as, kind of like second homes or vacation homes or things like that people would come down to, and they would need like all of the different things that cater to, the touristy side of things. And it really was something really kind of interesting to see the evolution of it. Once it became an actual town, it's not 100%, but I mean, you do they started to identify the needs of public spaces and community spaces. I have a friend actually who, kind of going back to the concert thing, I have a friend who has an architecture firm down in St. Petersburg, who he's, got a more traditional architecture practice. He has a construction side, but he also has an entertainment design, and he's been in, he's done Coachellas, he's done large like music venues and things like that. I mean, it's amazing what he does, and it really is an interesting like architectural take on the music experience and the music going experience. Yep.
Well, it's interesting because it's about a community. It's not necessarily about just the function, right? And just the aesthetics or the experience. It's about this, especially with a festival, right? It's all about creating a community because you've got this big food aspect to it, and you've got this big, obviously everybody's there for, because of a shared interest, right? And so that's the basis of the community. But then there's these add-on pieces to that, like the food aspect and the merch aspect and the, just taking photos and, there used to be like passing out stickers and passing out CDs and, all this kind of stuff that kind of revolves around the music. It's really interesting, like thinking about it holistically rather than just purely based on the functional use of the venue or the space.
Right.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, there's the Coachella festivals out here, and I know several people who work with those companies to make it what it is, or what it was, I should say, for now. And kind of what goes into creating a festival that is going to most definitely be different or have aspects of it that are different every year, even though it's in the same location. It's at the polo fields out there in Indio. And it's going to have, they have to host a different number of people. They're selling tickets differently. They split it up into multiple weekends instead of one weekend. And there's so many kind of moving parts to that, even though it's similar each time, it's most definitely different too. It's such an interesting problem set, the way that these events are designed. There's so much that goes into that. That's way beyond the facility, right? It's the graphic, it's the marketing, it's the ticketing, it's the logistics of all of the parts that come in for that time. And yeah, it's pretty incredible feat to pull off over and over again every year. And then you think about like a concert, like a U2 concert that's going to be in San Diego one weekend, in LA the next weekend, and Bakersfield the next weekend, and Fresno the next weekend, and they're just going to move their way up and across the country, and they're going to try to replicate in a different facility as close as they can, short of the set list, right, to create an experience that is shared between all of these different places over time,
Right.
and create some consistency to kind of, yeah, I don't know, interesting.
Yeah. So, Debbie Gibson.
Do you feel good about that, or
You know, no,
you didn't really?
I had no say.
I'm not laughing at you.
Oh, I'm laughing at me.
I'm laughing next to you.
I'm laughing next to you, but at you.
Well, Beastie Boys for me, and I want to say it was Check Your Head album, so
Ooh.
pretty old school. And outdoor, it was called Verizon Amphitheater at the time. Now it's like Irvine something, and great concert. I've been to several Beastie Boys concerts, and each one was amazing. So good stuff. And now like they've got that documentary on Netflix. No,
Yeah.
it's on Apple TV.
Oh, yeah, Apple TV.
It's so good. It's so good.